Part of our strategy is also to reach people who aren't doing MEV training. Of course, the first people who are going to be attracted to this are people who are already maneuvering the ecosystem and have already seen the challenges. But we speak to market makers as well who are interested but don't really know how to. Introducing this full MEV toolkit is just going to make it so easy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 69 of Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship. My name is Lum, your Web3 host. For those of you who are new to the show, Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship is a show highlighting the journeys of builders and innovators in Web3 and entrepreneurship. Some topics, especially in Web3, may get technical, but we do our best to keep it accessible for most people. Today, I'm joined by Joel de Jesus and Naomi Honda. They are co-founders of Catscope. Could you guys give a quick intro about yourself? Maybe let's go with Joel and then Naomi.
Okay, yeah, sure. Hi, my name's Joel, co-founder of Catscope. Been in the crypto space for a few years, and latest project is basically doing transaction processing for Solana. Yep.
Yeah, okay. My name is Naomi. I'm co-founder and head of business development of Catscope. My background is actually in sociology, and it hasn't entered the tech world until just a few years back. I met Joel and we started programming together. And then I started building a lot of the tooling for Catscope, our project now.
Nice, cool. Yeah, so I think users would definitely be interested in knowing more about your professional background, like in the past before you begin this journey together. I think, Joel, you said you've been in crypto for a few years, right? I remember you told me you were working on Bitcoin or building things on Bitcoin at some point, right?
Yeah, sure. So for myself, since about 2015, I started a project to build like a home-based Bitcoin ATM. After seeing what happened with Mt. Gox, and forlayed that into a position at a Chinese firm, and continue working on Bitcoin ATMs. And then I worked for a Japanese exchange, go-to-market project, which is a mix of technical stuff and also compliance. So I got experience there. And then in the last company, I worked for a Bitcoin miner. And so from there, I really focused on transaction processing as a business. And then I think sometime around 2022, 2023, it did a shift from... I just wanted to take the Bitcoin mining model and put it on Solana.
Nice, I see. Yeah, so you've been in Bitcoin for a long time and building multiple different things.
Skip the whole Ethereum thing. It's a lot of work to get into a new blockchain and cryptocurrency. So
yeah, I bet. Yeah, but I think Bitcoin was like the first blockchain anyway, and then interesting. So when you were at the Bitcoin miners, were you what type of thing were you building with them or supporting them?
So I worked at a company called Tal, and they're a Bitcoin miner for a offshoot of BTC, which is BSV. So their mantra is blocks with no size limit. So it's kind of similar to Solana in that respect. And my focus was just the transaction processing part, because profitability from the company only comes if they get transaction fees for processing.
That makes sense.
So and job title wise, so it's like a product manager. So just defining the product and figuring out how customers will interact with the service over an API.
Nice. Yep. Makes sense. For Bitcoin miner, just curious here, and then like what was the main objective? Was like mining as much as possible, or
packaging as many transactions as possible into a block and then pushing the block out. Because it's transactions per second, which turns into revenue generated per second, which turns into revenue for the company. So on the technical side, the engineers really focus on just scalability in terms of throughput, and on the business side is just how do you package that capacity and sell it.
I see. Yeah, it makes sense. I think so. Packaging as many transactions possible in one block. Like what I guess a technical challenge was that like there's a size limit, right?
Kind of. Again, so it's BSV, so there's no size limit on the block.
Oh, BSV.
Yeah. So it's really just pure engineering challenge, and the engineers working on it were like a really crack team. So I learned a lot from osmosis on the engineering side, and then on the product side, I just learned just what are the finances to make it work, financially.
Interesting. Yeah. Sounds like a very interesting product. Cool. And then Naomi, you said you studied sociology, and then
I went
builders.
I went to school for sociology, and I had no clear direction into the tech industry until I met Joel. I think I'm going over what I had said before, but we started studying before we started building this our product Catscope, and it was a lot of learning. Like our product deals with high frequency trading. And validator infrastructure. It's like very deeply technical project. So it took a lot of learning about the ecosystem and not only studying coding, but also studying about the ecosystem and learning more about Solana.
Fascinating. Yeah. Could you tell us a bit more, like what you did? Were you a self-taught programmer? What did you do in your previous, career before?
Yeah, I was just hopping around different jobs. Actually, it's interesting. Actually, in Japan, I came here a few years back, and I was doing like roofing work, like fixing traditional Japanese roofing. I did some teaching as well, and I met Joel in a social scenario. We're actually playing ping pong, and I was looking for a change in career, and so we kind of started right away after we had met initially.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, that sounds very inspiring. Many of the viewers of my podcast is also very interested in how to break into Web3, and so certainly would be very interested in learning about your transition as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I think that makes sense. Usually, people who are like very entrenched in Web3, like I think me and Joel probably we have a lot of these existing notions, right, about how certain things work. So yeah, if you came in with a interesting perspective. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And then how long has it been then since you guys began this?
I think it's been maybe 2.5 years working with Joel. Yeah, we actually, it's still using the same tooling as our auction platform, but we kind of switched directions back in August when we entered the Radar hackathon. And so we got a lot of advice and speaking to a lot of people in the ecosystem who just got so excited about this kind of use case for our auction marketplace protocol. And so, so we totally switched directions to instead of kind of a general bandwidth marketplace to this transaction processing and on-chain read-write marketplace.
Makes sense. Yeah. Cool. And then you share with us like what? Oh, wait, one second. Cool. So you guys joined a hackathon and then refine the ideas further, and then leading up to present day. So before we deep dive into your current project, Catscope, you maybe just one fun question. Can you guys share what do you do for fun in your hobbies?
Hobbies.
Yeah.
I ride my bicycle to the river sometimes. I guess recently I haven't. I've been working every day, but yeah, sometimes I go to the river or fish.
Nice. Yeah, sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm interested in fashion. I was going to school on the weekends. It's just I've ended one semester, fashion school. Otherwise, just get out, blow off some steam, go hiking. There's I live near Takao Mountain, so
Lovely area.
it's a good, not too terrible, like not too intensive hike. So it's perfect for me. Yeah.
I see. Cool. Yeah. So I think, well, people already know what cycling, riding bikes is, but I actually never heard about like fashion school. Could you talk a bit about that? Like, why did you go for one semester and then?
Yeah, sure. It's a school in Ebisu called ESMOD. And I was taking two courses. One is actually physically making clothes, and the other was designing clothes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then was the reason you left? You realized it wasn't for you?
I haven't decided to completely leave, but we're working really hard right now. It's trying to get our product live, so it's not the right time.
Yeah.
And I have plans to go back after I got some credits, and then I'll take a little break and then return. It's just always been like a passion of mine. My mom also was into designing as well, so it's something that I always wanted to do. And it's also another good way to blow off steam. Like it's super creative, so I can kind of focus on that for a little bit, and it helps me relax.
I see. Yeah, that's really cool. I believe you're like the first person on my podcast that know about fashion. So most of you on my podcast is like you're very technologists, right? Entrepreneurs and people who build a lot of things, but very rarely do come across people who into fashion. Cool. Yeah. So well, without further ado, let's go ahead and deep dive into your current project. Feel free to share any presentation or website you guys have.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I've prepared a deck here. Let me screen share. Okay, so like I said, our product is Catscope. So Catscope is the first decentralized MEV marketplace. It connects validators, Solana validators, and traders, and we built like the complete toolkit for MEV, making it more accessible to everyone.
Yeah, so MEV is like a pretty complex topic. Could maybe either Joel or Naomi, could you guys explain for the audience what is MEV and like why we should know or care about this?
Yeah, sure. So MEV, it stands for Maximum Extractable Value. And it's basically the profit that validators are earning from tips from users who want to prioritize their transactions. So they run by running like the most profitable trades first. Solana validators are generating actually hundreds of millions monthly, from MEV. I don't know, Joel, do you have a little bit more to add to that?
Yeah, sure. On a technical side, basically people trade on dexes and, for example, AMMs or some limit order book. And if you're able to kind of read the limit order book before everybody else, can see people's orders. Well, this is a bit like kind of front running and stuff like that. But if you're able to read first, react to the market movements, do your trade first before other people can, you can lock in quite huge profits. And and as Naomi described, right, to get that priority, the easiest way to do it is to pay the validators, the people responsible for ordering the transactions. You put yours first to lock in the profit. So that encapsulates what she's talking about, MEV and traders.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
Yep.
My next slide here. Yeah, so this is a few numbers showing kind of the real potential in the market, how large the market is. So as I was saying, there's like upwards of $1 billion in MEV fees that are tipped to validators annually, with very substantial year-over-year growth. However, there's still like a lot of problems in the ecosystem still, which I will get into. Okay. So basically, the way that people are currently succeeding in high frequency trading, they generally will do it in one of these three methods right now. So JSON RPC is kind of polling the validator one by one. So obviously, this is not fast enough if you want to do high frequency trading. It's not suitable for that. Geyser, I would say, would be an improvement. It's more of a stream. So you're getting on-chain data streamed to you, so you can see the network and check for arbitrage opportunities. But it has history of being unreliable, drop messages, which can like greatly influence the profitability of your trading. And then the last way would be to own your own validator. And so the big issue with this is that owning your own validator is very, very expensive. So blossomed from these three issues that are very difficult to maneuver, we built our solution, Catscope.
Makes sense. You were saying that owning validator is very expensive. Like, what is there a range, or how many SOL do person need to run validator?
I mean, just running a validator with 0 stake, you're looking at $1,000 a month.
Okay, the cost of running the server, yeah.
Yeah, if you buy the server outright, it's maybe $10,000-$15,000 machine. If you buy it up front, and then you have to run it. To get the stake that makes you matter, it's tens of millions of dollars. You need to accumulate the stake.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's quite pricey. Yeah, and I think last time I checked, Solana probably has fewer validators than Ethereum, right? I don't remember, but still in like the couple hundreds, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the first 100 to 200 are probably the ones making most of the blocks, and then the other ones that have some stake is probably 1 to 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're bringing to the MEV landscape is affordability. Validators list for on our marketplace protocols for basically nothing, and then traders, as we just covered, don't have to run their own validators. It's super fast. We've built a specialized plugin, which I'll get into in a bit, but it provides the lowest possible latency by having direct access to validators. And then accessible, our specialized plugin is basically the full MEV toolkit. So we're making it way easier for traders, people who are interested in participating in MEV, but maybe don't have the technical background to maneuver the tooling. We built the whole toolkit for them so they can really just focus on their trading strategy. So it's a bit of a visual marketplace, right? So essentially, validators will run our specialized plugin and list on chain. And then traders can choose to deploy to one or many different validators that are listed in the ecosystem. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I see.
Any questions at this point?
Cool. So then, yeah. So I think, would you say that your main customers are the validators?
So
right?
yeah, it's a marketplace. We're really just like kind of in middleman or in the middle. Nothing is routed through us, but validators list and traders list. So both of them are clients of Catscope, and we were just really facilitating the connection between them. So yeah, users are on both.
Yeah,
ends.
interesting. Okay, yeah, makes sense. So I think I've seen a lot of like marketplace type of businesses. So usually in the beginning, right, you have to focus on one side or the other, right? Kind of like if you look at Airbnb, right, what need to come first? So on for your marketplace, like who needs to come first?
Of course, yes, the validators come first. We're actually we've announced a partnership with a transaction sender. They have a network of validators, and they're going to be essentially our launch partners. So they're going to have the first validators listed in the marketplace, and it's going to help us test and refine the protocol.
Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. And then for traders, is it pretty easy to use? Like I'm kind of imagining, is there like a graphical, because I'm imagining traders probably not like the most technical people out there, right? Yeah. In terms of like I'm talking about using technology, but then how do they
high frequency trading is done with trading bots. So these traders do have some kind of technical background and but basically they just have to build the strategy, the arbitrage strategy. I built a simple like testing bot. Like I explained at the beginning, like I don't come from a very, very deeply rooted technical background, but I use a Bellman-Ford algorithm and just monitored where the trades are profitable, and then okay, trade is profitable, shoot. So that was just my simple algorithm there. But yeah, so these traders. I mean, I will get into it a little bit more later on the next slide. Actually, let me go here. So yeah, our specialized plugin allows actually these trading bots to be hosted inside the validator. So they're sandboxed within the validator, and so that means you're within the hardware. So really, the lowest possible read and write access to Solana blockchain. Yeah. Yeah. Joel, do you have anything to add to this as well?
Yeah, so I think a big advantage, like you said, like Naomi mentioned, and the graphic shows, the MEV bot is basically in the same place as the validator, share the memory. And so the communication with the validator is not over a network. It's not like JSON RPC or gRPC. You're not connecting over TCP or something. It's a shared memory buffer. So that's basically the lowest latency you can ever get. And compared to what we have learned through talking with people, most people set up a server close to some validators, and they kind of have to like manually do their co-locations. Like, where's your stuff? Like like if you're interacting with Jito, you have to move your server to where Jito servers are, and there's a lot of legwork. But in here, using our tools, you take your MEV bot and shoot it to whatever validator you want. You pay for the space, and boom, it's inside the validator. I mean, roughly speaking, it's inside using shared memory buffers. So
nice. I see. Yeah, auction gets spot. So then for this auction mechanism to work, right? Are they bidding? Do they have to bid in advance? Like, is there some rules over there? I imagine that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. So all of our auction mechanism is done through bots as well, and so basically it's based on demand and supply and demand, right? So the bandwidth that's available that the validator has to supply, and then what the traders are willing to spend on this access to the validator, and so the bots. All the traders will bid for example, one validator, and then it'll find really what the demand price is for that, and match supply and demand. So getting like the most fair price. And so all we really have to do, I wonder, yeah, here. So yeah, we have some CLI tooling, and so all the on the bidder's end, the trader's end, I'm sorry. All they really have to do is set up this bot with our CLI tools and then explain what their budget is and then enter and it'll run. Yeah.
I see. So basically, you give it some configuration as a trader, right? And then it will run on your
Yes,
behalf.
exactly.
Yeah, along with that. Okay.
Yeah, if, anybody who's run like a VM on AWS or some VPS provider will know, like, I can get a server. It will cost 50 cents per hour. And so essentially when you're configuring on a trader side, when you're configuring a space for your bot to run, you just set a budget of like, I'll pay $1 an hour to run my bot. And then I'll be in an auction to get 6 hours of runtime. Then I just upload the bot, and then you can see your bot running for 6 hours. And then Validator just auctions, like they can run max 10 bots. There's some fixed capacity that a validator can accept. And so that fixed capacity is auction, and the process that Naomi described. So this is the thing I got from Bitcoin, which is the hash power trading business model, and we're just moving it to Solana with a lot of changes, of course, through our work in the last like year and a half.
I see. Yeah, that's a very great point. Just curious, like why Solana? Why MEV on Solana?
I think it's where the money is. Liquidity pools to one place at the end of the day, and liquidity for trading is going to pool to the place where the trading is cheap. And Solana's, the founders of Solana and the engineers who head it, their mantra is very simple: just maximum throughput for as cheap as possible. So, if you're building trading tools, it's hard to beat Solana. And on top of that, they have this high frequency trading firm like Jump. I think these guys are out of Chicago or something, and they're building another validator from scratch. So, I mean, if you can find another blockchain with a high frequency trader building a network client, I mean, please let us know. So I think that'll be another unlock. So that's why mainly.
Okay. Yeah, I see. That makes sense. Yeah. I'm not sure if you have anything covered here in your slide or not, but like who do you how is this being done currently? Like as I other I imagine there must be other players in the market, right?
Yeah, so most of MEV and Solana is dominated by Judo. And yeah, so our protocol is ordering by priority, similar to Judo, but it's by configurable time periods. It's a big difference. Yes, Joel.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
And I guess most guys, beginner traders or just traders just experimenting, will start with a Python program. They will go get an account somewhere with an RPC provider to be able to read the trading data from a chain. And they'll do some quick computations, and then they'll bundle some trades and send it to, like Jito. Jito's the main one, and they process transactions. Then you just add a tip to your trading, and that tip pays Jito to put your trades first. But that's essentially how it's done. And then some people get a little more sophisticated. They program what's called a Geyser plugin that goes into the Solana default validator, which is written in Rust. So basically, you write a bunch of Rust to do your trading, and then your code runs in a validator. But yeah. So, I mean, that's the other way to do it.
And I just wanted to highlight just one of the big differences between us and Judo is that the centralization aspect. Everything with Judo goes to Judo first, while our protocol is all about connecting like seller to buyer. So validator and traders connect directly. Like nothing is, we don't touch anything.
Yeah, I think between Jito and just normal RPC providers and the new player Paladin, just like Naomi said, our tools are peer to peer. Most people, those kind of a cloud mentality where they're the counterparty to the traders and they're the counterparty with validators. Whereas for us, the counterparties are the traders and the validators are counterparties, and we're kind of on the outside.
I see. Yeah, makes sense. You did mention about the Geyser plugin. Would you talk a bit more about that? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So the default, it's called Agave now, but basically the default Solana validator that runs the chain. It's written in Rust for the purpose of letting people interact with the chain state from the validator, which is a plugin architecture in the default validator client. And it's called the Geyser plugin. Geyser because it just basically shoots out data. You know, as the transactions come in, get verified. This Geyser plugin shoots out the data. And so if you write Rust code and put it into this plugin, you can catch that chain state and do something. So, and then that's our main mechanism ourselves for, for Catscope is we have a custom Geyser plugin. I mean, we had to modify the validator a little bit because Geyser's read only, but we had to modify it so we could send transactions out through the Geyser plugin, which the default client doesn't let you do. It's a bit low level, but in the weeds.
So yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just practically speaking, Geyser plugin development is really a pain. Like it takes like an hour and a half to restart the. if you make a mistake in your Geyser plugin, you have to restart the server. It takes like an hour and a half to restart. So it's not trivial to mess with the Geyser stuff. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to explain here in this visual. So of course, this whole box here is Solana Validator, and then here, this is our modified plugin here. So it has three functions. It's transaction processing, the traditional geysers to read access chain state, and then this full MEV toolkit, which is the bot hosting mechanism that is able to do both, which this is read and write. And so yeah, as I was just saying, we have transaction processing and Geyser. So these will be three individual and the bot marketplace. So these are three individual marketplaces and three possibilities for validators to have additional revenue streams. And then as well on the trader side, they can choose if they want to use the full MEV toolkit, or if they just need just chain state data, they can just bid for just the Geyser marketplace or just transaction processing if they are getting their chain state data their own way or a combination. Mm-hmm.
Cool, interesting. And then I guess the price is, I think you said earlier, like determined by supply and demand, right? So there's probably some mechanism for it to, auction off. Okay.
I mean, it's auction, so whatever people bid and whatever clears the auction. At the end of the auction, there's an allocation table that's on chain, and so when the bidders, the traders and stuff, they're going to be in this allocation table, and when they connect to the validator, we provide a proxy on two sides, and so on the reverse proxy side, basically when people connect to the validator through our proxy setup system, the validator is going to know, like, oh, this guy paid a lot of money. He put in half the money, so he gets half the bandwidth. And this other person she put in 25% of the allocation tables, so this person gets 25% of our bandwidth for whatever. So yeah.
I see. And how fast is this all executing in the background? Let's say in like milliseconds, like.
You mean the auction stuff, or
Yeah. For the auction, right? Because I imagine that the block time on Solana is pretty fast. So then,
I mean, it's just like a few seconds. I mean, the auction itself is not like a high frequency like game thing. Just people put in what they want to pay, and like maybe 30 minutes before the time period starts, you'll have the auction. And so just over 30 minutes, people just put in what they want to pay. And then when the time period starts, it just gets locked. So, anyways, you get feedback from Solana in a few seconds. So yeah, you're right. It's really fast.
I see. Cool. So what would be like the impact on the users? Or regular user? I'm talking like maybe trading.
I honestly think it'll be kind of big. Because like, personally, I would like to try to do some trading and stuff, but it's just such a pain to do it. I think our tooling really lowers the threshold to be an MEV to get low latency trading action. I mean, you could program something in Go or Rust or whatever. And if you can compile it to WebAssembly, you basically can trade. And you don't have to spend like $1,000 to get access, you know. I don't know, is there anything you want to add to that, Naomi? Or I probably missed some stuff.
No, I'm okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's I mean, working with Naomi, our huge focus was just the user experience more than anything. You know, from start to selling, we wanted to take like 30 minutes. Our, okay, so, our whole philosophy is basically like no user accounts, no passwords, no API keys, no nothing. You basically start with a Solana key pair. And if you're selling, you install our plugin and do some JSON file stuff. We want you to be running and selling and getting actual money in like 30 minutes. That's our threshold internally. That's a success for us. And if you're buying, same things, like from 0 to 30 minutes, you fill in a wallet into your buy side proxy thing, and within 30 minutes you're online and you're doing stuff. So that's what we're targeting. So we think it will change a lot.
So yeah, on the validator side,
Yeah.
as Joel was saying, the CLI lists in 30 minutes. To get started on the bidder side, once they have their bot, it's the same kind of CLI, copy and paste our CLI to get started, and then we're building some other tools to help the trader, to track their P&L, and also a Marketplace Explorer page, so they can compare what pipelines are performing well, or what validators are performing well. So these are coming soon. All right, mostly built, honestly.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then as a marketplace, what are you guys' business model? Is this like taking
So
percentage
there's a
transaction fee?
percentage taken from the profit from the validators.
Okay, so I see. So the more emphasis is on the validators, right? So they okay.
They're earning the
Cool.
revenue in this design. So it's, yeah, we take a percentage from there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. And then anything else you want to share in your slide?
I think I just have a closing statement, maybe. Oh, it's not moving on. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, as MEV grows on Solana, there needs to be more tools for users. We like our solution. You don't have to rely on a single entity. And so, yeah, Catscope, just to round it up, Catscope is providing new revenue streams for validators and making the trading experience easier than ever. So just overall improving the MEV landscape. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And so
cool. Yeah. Thanks for
you
sharing
can read
that.
more at our website, catscope.io. And yeah, so that's what I have prepared for today. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Thanks for that. What do you say is like the challenges facing your team?
Oof, that's very easy. It's the state management for managing the auctions. So the so Naomi highlighted earlier, like the ways to talk to the validators, JSON, RPC, and Geyser, gRPC. But essentially, you track stuff account by account by account, and then you just get updates and stuff. But there's no syncing mechanism that lets you like stream updates like atomically and stuff. On Bitcoin, I'm familiar with, they have a SPV client that lets you sync over the network and get a subset of the chain state. So you can run business applications if you have an SPV client in Bitcoin. In Solana, basically, to get that syncing, you have to like stream the entire chain state, which is like they're doing like 2 to 10,000 transactions a second, and each transaction is modifying like in some cases dozens of accounts. Each one's like a few hundred bytes. So you have to like index the whole chain to run a business application that requires coordinating like multiple accounts. So we can't do that, obviously, because we're not counterparty to anybody. So we can't be running this huge IT system for people to like track their auctions and connect to each other. So we have to fit everything in a Geyser plugin, mostly. So that's the biggest challenge, is basically doing that and not having the validator die. That's been like 90% of the work. I mean, the challenges for us.
So yeah, we're still pre-launch, and so we're just building. And our team is just the two of us. So I think it has a lot of benefits and downsides. It's a lot. It's quite a tall task to build something like this that we're building. So yes, there's two of us, so there's a lot to handle. But otherwise, we're both located in Tokyo. We're able to meet up. Like, I know a lot of builders are often all around the world. Teams are placed all around the world, but I'm doing mostly front end stuff while Joel is working on this plugin. So they need to work together, and so we're able to meet up often and hash anything out and strategize together. So it's a good dynamic.
Cool, makes sense. Yeah, so it sounds like it's a majority of challenge would be like technical challenge, right? which is like Joe said.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it seems like very indexing. So if you use like if you use some other indexer, then it wouldn't make sense in your case. Yeah.
Yeah, the indexer, we're talking like Kafka or
yeah,
using some huge database and multiple servers, and just it's a no-go for the people we want to target. So yeah,
makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, you're targeting like very niche market here, right? Of some special type of traders.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying special type of traders for sure, and yeah, I mean, we talked about the market size earlier, but stake validators, there's only so many of them as well, right? So it's just getting the attention from them, seeing that there is revenue. This is a way to double, triple their revenue. It's what we're working on.
Yeah, when you're talking, I think you did mention like MEV market Solana is like $1 billion something
right.
in a year, right? How big is this? How big is this growing?
Yeah, I mean, like substantially growing, very high growth rate as well.
If there's some way to get real world assets trading on top of the tokens trading in Solana, for example, then I mean, the sky's the limit. It's hard to put a number, but
yes,
yeah, I mean, I think it's quite big, and I think basically this is where the profits are in the ecosystem, I think.
Interesting. Yeah. So the more trading happen, RWA and maybe even
meme
coins, I guess. Then it will support
meme coins first and RWA to follow up. That would be great.
Part of our strategy is also to reach people who aren't doing MEV trading. Of course, the first people who are going to be attracted to this are people who are already maneuvering the ecosystem and have already seen the challenges. But we speak to market makers as well who are interested but don't really know how to, right? And so introducing this full MEV toolkit is just going to make it so easy. And so the market grows, right? So huge potential.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah. Can you elaborate a bit more about it? Because I know a lot of companies, they usually need to have like some sort of a GTM, like go to market strategy. You guys still pre-launch, but like what is your plans like?
Well, we have a launch. We have this weird situation where we have people who are keenly interested in launching, and it's. I mean, Naomi's out there talking to a lot of people already. Who, I mean, by a lot, it's a low volume business with margins. But we are already in contact with people on the validator side and a little bit on the buy side to just start. Um, so, yeah, like I said, it's a niche product. It's a very unique offering. So, um, people would like to trade. So I, I don't think we need so much of a strategy. Like we're building something people need. So, and the ecosystem is still manageable. Small enough to reach out.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, our focus right now, and we made it very abundantly clear, is that we're programming right now, trying to build everything. That's where our challenges are. We do have ideas of tokens in the future, but this is not a full we don't know exactly the mechanism we're going to do this, and so also we aren't completely convinced yet. I think we're not sure. Like we do believe that the revenue from MEV tips or priority fees or Catscope auction mechanism fees is enough incentive for the market, but we also we have stakeholders in mind as well. So this is.
Yeah, so maybe there's lots of fun. There's lots of things we can do, and you could, yeah.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, so you guys still the very they're still experimenting, fighting out what works.
A good way to put it. Yes.
Yeah. Well, on the launch side, we're pretty fixed, and then we just don't have any spare capacity to think past just getting out the door. Once we get out the door, it's just iterating on the tooling and getting more people to experiment with it. Experimenting with our stuff is very low cost for the validator. I mean, it takes a day to some engineering work. And then they could turn on, like we said, in 30 minutes. On the buy side, it's even faster and low risk. So, I mean, our stuff is low risk to try and hopefully addicting.
Cool. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, so I mean, since you guys are building in the Solana ecosystem, just a general question here, like how do you perceive like Solana ecosystem will evolve in the future? Questions for both, whoever want to take it.
No, I mean, I love the Solana community. It's where people are right now. Most exciting or excitable people, builders, founders. So I love being a part of it. I know right now is like it's iffy on people might be wary about the markets right now, but I have full faith that it'll grow, and with a protocol like Catscope, high throughput, I expect it to improve.
Yeah, I mean, we're a part of the community in Tokyo. It's quite a lot of people here, and the Super Team Japan is based out of Tokyo, and we're members of the team. And they've been a tremendous help to us, advisory, things like that, go-to-market strategies, finding people who can do development work, for example. also, we of course try to help out, to pay it forward, because that's the spirit. It's just help people without being so transactional, and the community is just always willing to help. And then the Discord channels, it's always easy to find someone to ask really deep technical questions. And, I mentioned before the liquidity pools to let's say to one place. And I think the community engagement and stuff really pooling to one place. I think it's Solana's pretty good.
Yeah, cool. Good to know. Yeah, you guys mentioned you're both part of the super team Japan, right? I from what I know, Solana, I think they have super team in multiple different countries. So is it you guys host meetups, events, and other hackathons or things like that as well?
Yeah,
Yep.
we have an event this soon. The super team is supporting a lot of teams in the breakout hackathon, and so we're going to help. Like I spoke a little bit earlier, we entered the radar hackathon and we were able to place with honorable mention. And so they've asked us to come and mentor a little bit and speak to the applicants of the breakout hackathon. Mm-hmm.
Nice, cool. Yeah, so it sounds like you're already giving back to the community already at this point. Yeah, very helpful. Cool. And just 2 more questions here before we close out the show. Do you guys have any advice for you want to build their own Web3 company, Web3 startup?
Focus on an itch that needs to be scratched, and be focused on what problem you're trying to solve.
Yeah, totally agree. I think also just making your message clear in a few statements. I mean, our project is very, very highly technical, and so it's been a huge challenge in learning curve and a roller coaster kind of different pitch decks and different strategies on how to present our product to people, especially people who maybe aren't super familiar with MEV. So we aren't the big flashy protocol that you often see. And so that's been a challenge for us, but I think it's super important to be able to get your message across. And of course, be excited. Have faith that your product is providing is essential. So that would be my advice.
Yeah, very, very helpful. I think, in general, if you building like Joel said, if you need to build for a solution for a real problem, and it sounds like this is a very big problem. It seems like $1 billion. To be honest, I did not even know it was that big. Yeah, so sounds like interesting. And I think you're thanks for explaining for the viewers, because I'm pretty sure MEV is still a complex topic for most people, even people in Web3 space, right? Cool. And final question: where can people follow you? Feel free to share any public handles or username or
on X you can find us at Catscope_IO. Our website, catscope.io. That's where you can find us.
Cool. Yeah, I'll make sure to put all those links in the show notes out here so people can follow you guys. Once again, thank you for coming on the show today, Joel and Naomi. It's been really fun talking about what you guys building for the Solana ecosystem, and I wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, and thanks for reaching.
It's been great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been fun. And we're back to my studio. That's also a wrap for the first episode on the Solana ecosystem project. With that, I've also a very complex project that is trying to create a fair and open marketplace for MEV. If you have experience with MEV or have experience building on Solana, let us know about your experience below. For the next episode, we'll be talking to Victor Lee, co-founder and CEO of MIGA. MIGA stands for Make AI Great Again. MIGA is an AI agent platform that provides AI-powered trading signals and alpha insights for cryptocurrency enthusiasts. And powered by proof of trading, a first in the industry token model that might potentially make a significant impact to crypto. Please tune into the next episode if you're curious and want to learn more about proof of trading. If you enjoyed this episode, please give a like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Thank you for watching and see you next time.